What's up guys, how's it going? AviddGeek here. Welcome to another episode of Gaming News Stories. For those that are new to this show, this is where I take a look at all the news that's taken place within the last week in the world of gaming and pick about, 3 to 5 topics to talk about and share with you guys. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Story number 1. So today we have a ton of PlayStation news. So most of the stories are going to be about the PlayStation 4 and Sony and what they're doing with all of that business. So first off, I have this guy here. This is the PlayStation 3 controller. Sony has actually released the PlayStation 4 controller, the new Dualshock controller, for purchase. So you can actually go right now to Best Buy, Target, or wherever they have them. I know that they have them in stores now, but you can go and pick one up, buy one, and look at it. The consoles aren't out yet. Remember, they're not out until the 15th of next month. So it's kind of interesting that they're selling the controllers already. I'm assuming it's to kind of get people excited about it. And sure, why not? Why not get them out and get people to buy the controller with no system? Spend that extra 60 or 50 bucks, whatever it costs. But you can get a feel for how the controller feels, the differences between the 4 and the 3. And let me know what you guys think on that. If you guys have purchased one, if you think there's a difference between the two. Story number 2. So batter up now is Sony once again. Sony just today has announced some information in regards to sharing games on your PlayStation 4 and how the whole primary console thing works. So the way that they described it is you'll be able to make one console, the first console you register, as your primary console. So any games that you download for the PlayStation 4 store, the PSN network, you can actually go ahead and use that on your primary console, and anyone else in your home can play those games on that console. So you also can, if you want to buy a second console, which seems kind of pricey at the moment, it's a lot of money, but if you want to buy a second console, that would be your secondary console. So with your primary console, you can actually play 2 games consecutively on your PlayStation account. No, thumbstick. Why 2 at the same time? Why? So consecutively meaning not on the same system at once, but on 2 different PlayStation 4s. So if you have one in the living room and one in the bedroom as your secondary console, you can play consecutively on 2 systems. So story number 3. So the third story is more of an opinion piece, kind of a little topic. I've seen more and more people talking about how similar the systems are, the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, with all their DRM features, with all the things that you can do on the system. They're very close together. They seem like they're almost the same console. And actually earlier this week, there was an announcement from a developer, which for some reason escapes me at the moment. But the developer mentioned, why do we need 2 consoles? They're both similar in specs. The Xbox One was a little bit different, was a little underpowered, but now that they've bumped it up, they're very similar together. So why do we need 2 consoles? Why do I need to make a game for both consoles when I can just make it for one, if they're pretty much the same machine, but with a slap skin on top of it, a Sony skin and a Microsoft skin? I think that's an interesting point, that if they're so close together and they seem like they're the same system, why is it that we do have 2 systems? Before, it was very much the exclusive. When I think back on the Genesis and Nintendo, it was very much the exclusive games. You could only get Mario on Nintendo. You can only get Sonic on Sega Genesis systems. You can only get particular games on those systems, and the games varied themselves as far as what the system was capable of doing. The game would be varied, so you would have maybe better music on, I'm going to favor the Genesis because I grew up with the Genesis, or you could have better music on Nintendo system, or better graphics, or something like that. So there was one that kind of made the other better at certain times. But this generation, it just seems like this new generation coming in, it just seems like everything's kind of the same. Everything's lined up the same, they should look the same, they should sound the same. And I understand it from a production value and the business side of things, but as a gamer, it makes it more difficult. You guys make it so difficult to pick out a system. Should I pick out the PlayStation 4? Should I pick out the Xbox One? And you kind of have to be a fanboy because it's like, which one do you like better in this current generation, the PlayStation 3 or the Xbox 360? For me, it would be the Xbox 360. Which one did I like in this last gen? You like Microsoft or do you like PlayStation? How their menu was set up, how their network was, what services they provided, and what do you think is the difference on the new systems? There's not that much of a difference. They're both using similar things, but maybe with different names slapped on top. You guys, you make it so difficult. You make it so difficult. At least they're not at the same price, because that would make it even harder. Story number 4. So back to Sony. So those PlayStation 4 controllers I mentioned earlier in the episode, you can actually pick those up, as I mentioned, And apparently people are picking them up and trying them out on their Macs to see if they're compatible, if you can use them with other games and other stuff. Apparently these controllers are compatible to a certain degree, So there's a bunch of gamers out there taking those controllers, trying them out on different games, and making a list of games that are compatible, that are not compatible with the controller. I think it's a great part on the gamer side of things to really kind of take initiative and put together a list for all of us that are not going to take the time to do all that. So bravo gamers, bravo, good job. So hopefully through all their testing and all their trial and error, we'll get a nice list, a nice little kind of bucket of what works and what doesn't with that particular controller. And it's nice that we're able to utilize that controller with other things. It kind of gets more of your money's worth out of it, I guess. But keep it going, gamers. Put together that list. Do it! Do it now! Story number 5. It's the last bit of news of Sony, I promise. So if you guys remember a while back, they showed a trailer for Sony's PlayStation 4 and how you can utilize a bunch of stuff on your phone and your tablet using a mobile app built in that you would manage your friends list, that you can use to manage your profile on the PlayStation Network. It's very similar to Smart Glass, but it's Sony's version of that. You should be able to also download and purchase video games, so if you leave your console plugged in and on, you can actually just tell it, hey, download this game today, and when I get home it should be ready to play. You can also utilize that to do some in-game, like a second screen for in-game content. So you would see maps, you could see possibly using it for like phone calls, possibly using it for inventory, a bunch of other stuff. So pretty much it's a secondary screen to complement your games. Well, their mobile app is actually going to be launching a few days ahead of time before the system is released. So you can get it on the 13th and then wait 2 days and then finally you can get your system. But you can take So question time. So earlier in this week there was an announcement from a couple of analysts, 2 different analysts that were saying, one was saying the PlayStation 4 is going to outsell the Xbox One. The other one was saying no, Microsoft's going to have a bigger share out of it. They're going to sell more than the PlayStation. So what do you guys think? So the question of the week is, do you guys think the PlayStation 4 will sell more or the Xbox One? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. It'll be interesting when they come out that first weekend and see how much has sold. I think it'll be really interesting. I know a lot of the games are kind of coming for both systems, but the fact of seeing who is going to have a bigger install base on that launch day, who got their message across, who was the one that actually seemed they were giving it to the gamers. Do you know what I mean? So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Alright guys, thanks for watching. That was this episode of Gaming News Stories. I appreciate all your comments and don't forget to answer to this week's question. Also don't forget to like and share this video. Share it on Google+, Facebook, and Twitter. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel to keep watching more of these gaming news stories, these videos. I really appreciate that, and it warms my heart when I see another subscriber. Another angel gets his wings. Alright guys, thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace out. Maybe if that works. Nope, I can't reach the other side. Why?